What is your name, and what are you all about?
My name's Scott Prouty. I'm a regular guy, middle class, hardworking guy. I'd like to think I have a good moral compass and a core, and I think I have a little bit of empathy. I think I have a little more empathy than Mitt Romney had. I don't know how to describe myself, but I was behind this whole thing. I was bartending that night for the Romney fundraiser.
Let's talk about May 17th. What happened that day?
We got there, it was a political fundraiser. We did our usual thing. We set up, and it went off without a hitch. I work high-end parties all over just for extra money. It was just really just another typical party that I've done plenty of them just like it.
Did you know you were going to record him?
I did. I had brought the camera, and a lot of other people brought cameras, like I said, for thinking that he would come back and take pictures. Clinton in the past had come back with the staff and taken pictures, and that was, really my thought. I hadn't really made up my mind. I was willing to listen to what he had to say. I was interested to hear what he had to say, and but I didn't go there with a grudge, against Romney. I was more interested as a voter.
How'd you get the camera in there?
I just carried it in my backpack. Again, they had never said don't bring cameras, don't film, don't. That was never said, and I thought. Why not?
So you didn't go there with the intention to get Mitt Romney on tape to make it a big story?
I really had no idea he would say what he said. I thought he would say basically the same things he was saying in public. I had no idea it was going to be this big thing that it turned out to be. I had no idea.
So this was done, and the way it unfolded with you was not because you were an Obama supporter. This is a justice-injustice issue with you, that there was someone running in public and saying something different behind closed doors. That's your analysis.
Frankly, the people that were there that night, they paid $50,000 per person for dinner. And, I grew up in a blue-collar area in Boston, and nobody I know can afford to pay $50,000 for dinner. I just don't know anybody that can do that. And in a way, I felt like, whether you're a Republican or an independent, or there's a lot of people that can't afford to pay $50,000, for one night, for one dinner. And I felt an obligation in a way to release it. I felt an obligation for all the people that can't afford to be there. You shouldn't have to be able to afford $50,000 to hear what the candidate actually thinks.
What did you personally go through? Was there any defining moment that you can remember that said, I'm going to do this, I have to do this?
I'd gone back and forth in that 2-week period. I'd gone back and forth and said, I have a pretty comfortable life. I struggle like everybody else, and why am I going to do this? Why am I going to risk everything? Should I risk everything? Should I put myself in jeopardy? Should I put myself in legal jeopardy? And and there was times I kind of went back and forth a little bit, and I woke up in the middle of the night one night, and I was in the darkness of my house, just looking out the window and just thinking about it. And I walked into the bathroom, and I just looked in the mirror, and the words "you coward" just came out of my mouth, and I just looked in the mirror and just said, "You're a coward. You're an absolute coward." And because I was kind of leaning not putting it out, and it just kind of came out of my mouth. And I went back to bed and said, all right, well, that's not going to work. I'm going to put it out. I'm going to be proud I did it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it to the best of my ability, and I'm going to make sure as many people as possible hear it. And that's, and then I at least when I turned that corner, I thought about it. I felt like I was doing the right thing, and I went down the path and never looked back.